Welcome back to another flipping and money making live stream. I'm your host with the most, Scapenomics, and hey, we're ready to make some bank today. We've got 2.1 billion GP in the stack. Guys, it's pretty crazy here, okay? Because we are coming up on max cash. Can we get a PogChamp in the chat for max cash? Literal max cash, okay? Right around the corner. And we might even hit it this week. Who knows? But anyway, it's just incredible the amount of gains we've made recently, with the investment and everything going on. So it's very exciting for me to get so close. And anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get into this flipping episode here and try to make some money here today at the exchange. We have Some Nerd, Lewinteg, and Chicken Dinner all popping in the live chat. Good to see all of you guys here today on the live stream. Now, Some Nerd as well, man. It's been a while since you've tuned in, so I do appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and get some flip set here. The first one we're going to do today is the Dragon Claws. Now, we have been neglecting the Dragon Claws just a little bit these past couple of live streams, just because a lot of items were trending down really, really hard, and the Dragon Claws were not an item I wanted to hold on to during that downtrend, just because they're not really an essential item for anything besides some PKing, and it can also always be... I am Sebaloco with the 5 bits. Thank you, Sebaloco. The thing with the Dragon Claws is you can sub them out with like another spec weapon, so it's not really essential that you hold them during like they're just not like a necessary item, okay? I don't know what to explain about it, but I don't like holding them during aggressive downtrends because I tend to know like the price range they trade around, and I don't like to go outside of that frame too much because I think it's too risky. We have Martin Huisman saying, let's go, have a nice one, all of you. Martin, good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to the live stream. Some Nerd says, I thought you borrowed a few hundred mil for the stream. Nope, no borrowing today. That's our cash tag as of right now. So I'm very happy about that. That being said, let's stop getting distracted here, and let's go ahead and list the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. I think that's what I'm going to do next. I don't know how volatile this thing has been today or yesterday. I didn't do a lot of flipping yesterday, and I haven't done any today up to this point, so we're just going to go ahead and check out... Okay, literally made profit on the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. What? I guess we're gonna stay away from that for now, but I don't even know if you can see it, but here it is, 3k profit on the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. A little bit odd. We have Coast of TV saying, hey, has the keyboard recovered from the coffee bath? It has. It is in full functionality right now. So, luckily, that is back on track, and we have that working for us today. Because, on our, I think it was Friday. No, it was our Saturday stream where it gave us a lot of trouble. So luckily, there's no issues with the keyboard as of right now, and there probably won't be for the rest of the stream unless I F up again. So that is not in my plans today, so hopefully we avoid that. Good to see you though, Kosif. Let's go ahead and do the Dragon Hunter Lance next. Yes, the Lance, because the Dragon Hunter Crossbow wasn't really working out too well for us. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get a good margin on these Lances. Now, I actually was looking at the Dragon Hunter Lance yesterday, and it's actually up from where I looked at it yesterday, because what I was doing was I looked at the Dragon Hunter Lance, and usually if an item is like crashing and then it immediately flatlines on a graph, so let's say it's like coming down aggressively and then it flatlines, that usually means someone is investing heavy bank into the Lance or into an item. Chicken Dinner with the 10 bits, man, thank you so much. It usually means someone's investing heavily because they are supporting that item during a very, very aggressive downward crash, and because of that, I do see a good amount of upside on the Lances. Already looks like it's up about 300k from where I looked at it yesterday, so it does seem to be trending in an upward direction now. That being said, let's go ahead and do the Dragon Crossbow. I'm going to do the Dragon Crossbow and maybe the Dragon Pickaxe as well. Those are two flips that sort of take a little bit more time. They're kind of more passive flips than anything, and I just like to give them a try today, see if we can make a little bit of money on them. I know that they've both been a little bit more volatile than recently, the Dragon Pickaxes and the Dragon Crossbows, which makes it a little bit more profitable for us to flip them, although I have done the Pickaxe and the Dragon Crossbow a couple times over last week, and they worked out pretty well, so I want to go ahead and see if we can get another solid margin on them this week on this lovely Monday flipping session. Let's go ahead and get those listed. Not a great margin on the pickaxe, but definitely good enough to go ahead and flip a few of those. We still have one bill in the stack, so I'm going to go ahead and list some primordial boots next. I'll get to the live chat in a minute, guys, but thank you all for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Be sure to drop a like if you are enjoying this live stream. It really helps me out a lot. Gets my content up there with some awesome other old school RuneScape content creators, and it would feel good if we could get some live streams right up there with them, wouldn't it? And let's go ahead and get some primordial boots in here. Not a great margin on these. They're looking pretty stagnant, but depending on how fast they buy, I might cycle back in for a lower price. I would like to do the bandos tassets and the chest plates as well. I do think there's a good amount of opportunity on both of these items. There has been all of last week, so I do imagine that trend is probably continuing this week if I had to guess. And it's not an amazing margin, but it is definitely good enough to go ahead and flip a few of these. We'll go ahead and list 7 of the tassets, and we'll try the bandos chest plate next. Let me go ahead and see the chest plate here. Here we go. We're still going to have a good amount of money sitting on the sidelines, so we'll just kind of sit on that for a little bit. Hopefully, we'll get around to deploying that here in a couple of minutes, but we're definitely not going to rush to get it all like put onto the Grand Exchange, because I think a lot of this stuff is going to work out pretty solidly for us. As far as these primordial boots go, though, we're going to sell these back really quickly because they are buying way too quickly, so I'd like to get those off. And everything else looks good besides the claws. We're going to bump that up just a little bit here. I did expect to actually buy one by this point, but we haven't gotten any yet. So let's go ahead and cycle back in for a little bit higher of a margin. We're going to make a little bit less per Dragon Claw, but not really much to make a noticeable difference. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Now, we have Rich Camp. He's the first comment I see. He says, flipping on my alt while Nightmare Zone on my main and watching this stream. I am stoked. Rich Camp, good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad you're looking forward to this one. And let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping in old school RuneScape. We also have Jesus saying good night. Good to see you, Jesus. And some nerd also commented saying, that's insane. Grats on those gains. We had some huge ups here in the last month, like serious gains. January was a killer month for me for profits. So I was super happy about that, obviously. I'm going to go cycle back into the primordial boots at a little bit wider of a margin. I'm going to knock down the buy price a little bit. It's going to make it a little bit tougher to buy. It's probably going to take a little bit longer to get those. But regardless, though, let's see. Martine says, how much time should pass for you to abort a deal if it's not buying? Martin, that is a great question, man. And every item is actually, you should treat it differently. If it is an item that is traded very frequently on the Grand Exchange, I usually only wait like 5 to 7 minutes. But if it's something that is like, for example, the Dragon Claws, I'll wait maybe like 12 to 15 minutes before really adjusting that, as they're just not traded as often as something like a Blood Rune or a Death Rune would be traded, so the margins fluctuate a little bit more because of that. Let's see. So did you see the big Harm Orb swing? Lewintang, I didn't see it, but I actually had, if you saw in the Discord group, by the way, if you want to join us on Discord, there is a link in the description below for that. We basically have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and we might hit 2,000 members today, okay? So that is my goal. Hopefully some people, if they're, if you're watching the live stream and you're not in the Discord yet, you can go check it out, because we are literally like 2 members away from 2,000 members in that Discord group. So that is insane, but regardless, I got distracted. I did go ahead and I had a volatile orb that I was flipping, I think it must have been Saturday. I mean, I must have been flipping this on Saturday, and I had buy offers in that I completely forgot about, okay? And I went back and sold them today, and on the Scythe, I made 9.4 mil, and on the Volatile Orb, I made 7 mil. I didn't post the Volatile Orb yet, but you can probably see it in my history. Let's see. Yeah, look at this. Look, I totally just had this on accident. I didn't even mean to really buy one and flip this, but I had it, like, I logged onto my account and I was like, oh no, I forgot to adjust my offers. Oh no, I'm screwed. And then I went back and sold everything and I profited like 14 mil. It was crazy. I got so lucky, man. Super happy about that. Anyway, we did get some Dragon Claws that bought a lot quicker than I would have liked. We're going to go back in and sell them for a little bit less than the original sell price that we had. It shouldn't be an issue, but if there's one item right now that I'm the most concerned with, it is definitely those Dragon Claws, because they have given us a little bit of trouble in the past when it comes to selling them off. But you know what? We're going to do the best we can, and we're going to try to make some money here. We also have the primordial boots as well. We're going to turn around and sell those. Same margin as before, should be quite easy, and everything looks like it's working out right now for us. And I was on the 1 hour profit time frame, but now we're back to the session profit. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Let's make some money today on the Grand Exchange. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. Now we have, let's see, so many comments coming in, man. We have Kosif TV saying, what was the January profit total? I have no idea, but let me see, like, my past month. The problem is, flipping utilities doesn't track a lot of your investment stuff over a longer time frame. So it says I only made 21 mil, but I promise you it has to be way more than that, because like if you've watched my cash stack in the past couple of streams, it's basically gone like ballistic. So, you know, I don't really know like what the qualifications are for some of the flipping utilities tracking, but you know, we're definitely up way more than 21 mil. We made an investment alone that was 108 mil. So I don't know my exact profit, but like, honestly, I'll go watch a stream from like January 1st, see how much I had, and then watch one now and see how much I had. That's like the best way to really look at it. Regardless though, I'll keep you updated maybe on the Discord if you'd like to hear how much I profited. I actually have to go check, but flipping utilities is a little bit off on my profit. Let me see. Telly to Lummy says, I missed your first comment, man. Sorry, there's so many comments here. Sometimes I get so caught up in the immediate and I miss some comments. He said, any recommended medium to low volume flips for a 50 mil stack currently? Any Barrows gear is really great. Toxic blowpipe is really good. Staff of Light, Staff of the Dead, but you might want to be careful with 50 mil on that. Eternal Boots would be good. Dwarf Weed would be good just because that's like more of a passive flip. You can kind of set that at the Grand Exchange and do your thing. Amethyst Crystal is really good for that stack, although that's more on the high volume end. And hopefully that gives you a couple ideas of like item categories you can think about, and maybe you can get some flips off of that. Also, the Freminate Kilt can be good too, but it's a little bit more risky. Almost left Nightmare Zone to flip, says Jeffrey Reuter, but convinced me to stay here. Can't cut into your gains. Thank you, Jeffrey, man. Do appreciate it. We have Chandler popping in as well. He says, hey, Scapenomics. Good to see you, Chandler. Thank you for tuning in, man. Do appreciate it, and welcome to the live stream. I hope you are enjoying it, and hopefully the markets have been good for you today. We're going to see if they're going to be good for us today. Currently up about 726 million GP, 12 minutes into the stream. It's shaping up to be a pretty profitable stream, guys. Regardless, though, we did get those the Bandos Tacets off. So we're going to go ahead and do the Abyssal Bludgeon next. We'll see if we can get some big bucks on this thing today. It has been pretty crazy, the Bludgeon here recently. It does look like it's consolidating in price a little bit, and I do think there's some good opportunity on it potentially here in the short-term future, maybe over the next week or two. Let's see. Nightmare is such a bad moneymaker now. Yeah, since Inquisitor came down a lot, it's not as good of a moneymaker, unfortunately. Anyway, guys, there's so many comments. I'm sorry. Wild Muffin, good to see you as well, man. Thank you for tuning in. Speaking of, I'm struggling to find margins today on the Scythe. I sold the Scythe like 10 minutes ago. Not 10 minutes ago, maybe like 30 minutes ago for 659 mil. So it's probably trading around that range. Some nerd says, my cash stack has gone ballistic, but that's more of a relative term. In the past month, I got 60 mil with a 2% ROI. I mean, that's really good, man. If it's good gains for you, don't let anyone tell you that your gains have been bad. I mean, seriously. Like a 2% ROI on a cash stack, it's not too bad. Depends how much money you have, but regardless, guys, let's go ahead and do the Amulet of Torture. Now, the Amulet of Torture and the Necklace of Anguish, honestly, if you have like a 100 mil to 150 mil cash stack, I highly recommend flipping these almost every time they're off their 4-hour limit, because honestly, like, the Amulet of Torture is not going to make you any crazy bank. Same with the Necklace of Anguish, but they are really, really easy flips. It's basically like flipping an Amulet of Fury, just it's like, you know, 10 times the cost, and the margins tend to be a lot better on them. So definitely go ahead and flip those if you haven't before, because honestly, it's one of my favorite items to this day to go ahead and flip, just because of how easy it is. Martine says, thank you for explaining earlier when you decide to cut into your margins to get products, or when do you decide to? I feel like someone is always undercutting my high volume trades. Even if someone cuts your high volume trades, if you let it sit for a little bit longer, usually the item will sell. Usually it's not like too big of an issue. most of the time, but you know, it obviously could be if you're sitting on a high volume item for too long of a time period. But I would say, like, if you leave it most of the time, it usually will sell, just because the margin fluctuations on high volume items are pretty small, and a lot are being traded, yes, but there's also a lot of demand for those things too, right? A lot of supply, a lot of demand. So you could leave it if you wanted to. Anything like under a 3 GP margin, you don't want to cut no matter what. Even like underneath a 5 GP margin, I wouldn't really cut that. Carol's top and bottom right now have been really good and will be really good until the buff. That is absolutely true, Kosif. Although recently I found the Carol's top and the Carol's skirt had, like, compared to, you know, like 2 weeks ago when they just came out with the update and like everything was going crazy. Or was that last week? Either way, like when everything was going crazy in the beginning, dude, those Carol's leather tops and skirts were really, really profitable. Appreciate the reply. Very helpful, Scapenomics. No problem, Telly. I do apologize the delay on that. But currently, guys, we're up about 1 million GP 15 minutes into the session. Looking like a really solid day today. Very excited about that. If you guys are enjoying the stream today, please drop a like over on YouTube. It really, really helps me out a lot, and I would appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you're not with us on Discord, we have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and we would love to have you there. I'm always coaching people in there how to flip with their cash stacks, and anytime you have a question, you can just go ahead and ask me in there, and I'll get to it as soon as I see it. So regardless, though, thank you guys for watching, and we're just kind of flipping here today. I'm a little bit nervous about these dragon darts here. I don't know if they're going to go through at this price level. We'll give it another minute or so and see if we can get any off. They are a pretty high volume flip, so I would be shocked if, you know, it doesn't swing in our favor at least a little bit. I feel like my throat is like so dried out. Greg Ladd 16 says, hey, what should I flip with a 10 million GP cash stack? I'm kind of new. I made 2.2 mil from flipping in the past 2 days from a stack, but I would appreciate recommendations. So, okay, really quick, Greg, one thing that I would recommend right off the bat is I have like multiple 10 mil flipping guides on my YouTube channel. So, you know, after the live stream or whenever you leave and you need some item ideas or you just need some guidance on flipping with 10 mil, I've got a couple guides on my channel that I really think could help you out a ton. I go through and walk through the basics of flipping with a 10 mil stack and recommend some items in there. That being said, since you are here on the live stream, I'm going to go ahead and list a bunch of items that you should be focusing on. Now, if you're flipping with a 10 million GP stack, you're going to want to mainly stick to high volume items. So that's going to be things like the blood runes, the death runes, law runes, nature runes. Those are all really solid runes to flip with a 10 mil stack. But you also want to do like consumables and ammunition. So things like sharks, monkfish, manta rays. The raw versions are good as well. They have higher limits, but they're not as frequently traded. On top of that as well, you could do dragon arrows. Adamant darts are really good. Rune darts are great. And air orbs are a little bit on the riskier side, but you can do them with a 10 mil stack without too much issue. And that should be a good starting base. You could do things like magic logs, U logs. You just kind of got to think about it a little bit and be like, another actually great place to get item ideas, though, is the RuneScape's top 100 most traded items. That's really good for people with smaller cash stacks who are trying to learn how to flip, just because all the items on that list are super high traded and they're super safe to flip. So anyway, Greg, hopefully that does help you out a little bit. And if you need some more ideas or guidance with a 10 mil stack, I would recommend checking out some of the 10 mil guides on my channel. Let's see. We have STW Benny says, hey, what do you think the best way to make more money with only 1 mil? I would say looting, and then if you have like no stats, looting, and then after that, like, you have to do some kind of slayer, to be honest. You know, it's not easy to build that first couple of mil in old school RuneScape. I'm not going to say it is. It's actually very tough. But once you get like 10 mil in your cash stack, you can flip from there and become a billionaire like pretty easily without, I mean, it is, you have to put effort into it, but the stuff you do to make the money, it's really not difficult. And we're teaching it all the time on my channel. So if you want to tune into it more, definitely leave a subscription, because we're here doing this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, on top of some videos as well. We have Chandler saying, I've got a question for you for the PVM gear with low buy limits, like 8. Do you ever start selling the gear before your buy offer is fully complete? Yes, I do. If I have an open slot, I'll usually use it to sell an offer, but if I don't have an open slot, then I don't rush it. I kind of just wait for the item to complete, or I cut it early if it's stopped buying and try to capitalize on that margin and on that profit. So hopefully that does make sense to you, Chandler. Let me go ahead and check this Dragon Dart margin here. I just want to know where the sell price is. So what I'm going to do is actually buy one here. And yeah, they completely crashed on us. So they came down about 60 GP from where we bought them, which is pretty crazy, honestly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to list them for, you know, them, like, we're not going to list them for our sell price or our buy price. We're going to list them right in the, like, in the middle of that range, like a mid-range listing. And we're just going to wait for that to swing in our favor. I do think that's going to succeed for us. So, this happens a lot with the Dragon Darts. You'll get like a big crash and then things recover really quickly. So I'm just going to wait for that. I've arrived late. YouTube didn't notify me. Carlos, you're not that late, man. You're 20 minutes into the stream. Plenty of time to flip left here today. So good to see you. Thank you for tuning in, man. Do appreciate it. Now, we do have 1.1 billion GP in the stack. You know, it would be a shame to not get in on the Scythe here, man. And that's what we're going to do. I mean, we're going to do a couple of Scythe flips. We'll see if we can get one going here for a little bit of a margin. I mean, I don't know where it's trading around right now, but I did sell one like not too long ago. So we'll see if we can get back in on that margin and try to flip a few here on stream today. See if we can make a little bit of profit off of it. We have, let's see, Jason Beckfold saying, with fewer people farming revenants, do you think wieldy weapons are a good long-term investment? We're stocking up on some maces / crossbow, enjoying the stream. So here's the thing is, there's kind of two ways you can look at this, because with revenants being less popular, then less people are really interested in killing revenants, right? It's not as much hype. So wilderness weapons are in less demand. So that's one thing to keep in mind. That being said, Jagex does have on their roadmap that they do want to change some things about the wilderness. And with the wilderness hype that could be brought from this, like from the future update, I do see a pretty large upside on some of these wilderness weapons. That being said, who knows when that's coming? It could be a while. I'd have to look at the Jagex roadmap again and see when they actually plan that, like when they have like a decently chunked update period, because that's when I would expect the wilderness updates to come. I mean, it feels like they're changing the wilderness so much these days, but that being said, I do see good upside on the wilderness weapons, but the problem with that is, how long is it going to take before that comes? Because if you buy the crossbows now and you have to wait all the way until July for anything to be announced, you know, that's like 6 months with your cash stack just sitting there. It's maybe not the most optimal way to use your cash. And that's always a question you should consider when you're deciding to invest in an item is, hey, how long do I think I'm going to have to hold this until I'm going to be able to sell it off for a profit? Regardless, though, hopefully that does help you out, Jason. Now, let me go ahead and sell these Dragon Claws back. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a good margin on these. I mean, they did stop selling, and I've kind of held on to them for a little bit of time here, but everything else seems to be doing fine. I do want to go ahead and sell these Amulets of Torture, get those going, probably cycle into the Necklace of Anguish as well. Try to get a couple more items moving because we're not having a ton of buy action here. Cycle out of a couple things. Adjust a couple things around. Shouldn't be a problem. I mean, we're already up 1.2 mil actually, and we're only 23 minutes into the session, so things are looking very good right now. Forrest Wong says, hey, you sold the Scythe to me. I just called it a day. I'm up at least 1 mil to buy from that sell. Hey, man. Hey, we'll take it, man. I'm glad you, dude, I'm glad you got mine. That's like, dude, I got it early. I handed it off to you, and hopefully you ride that thing up the rest of the way, man. Jared Guzman says, hi, man, you've helped me a lot with merching. Thank you, Brody. Of course, Jared, I'm glad you've enjoyed the content, man. Thank you for tuning in. We have Saints fan in advance saying, tuning in from the gym. Hope you have better luck flipping than I did this morning. Saints fan, we're going to do our best, man, to make a little bit of profit here today. You know that. And we're going to go ahead and check the Ancestral Top. I mean, I've been checking this thing like crazy these past few streams. And look, it's just been an item that's been working out for me very well. I mean, when I find an item that's really been working for me, I tend to stay with it multiple days on end. And then once it looks like it's not doing great anymore, I usually back out of it. But for now, the Ancestral Rope Top has been really good for me. So we're going to keep that going there. Let me see here. I'm going to knock the Scythe up a little bit in price. All right, we'll leave that there for now. We also have 971 mil. We really got to do the 2-account flipping these days, and I would like to get on this second account, but the problem is I'm still filming the 10 to 100 mil flipping series. By the way, an episode for that came out today, for those of you who are looking for a series where I go from 10 mil to 100 mil. I think it's episode 18 that came out today. But anyway, guys, I do want to say that the flipping recently has started to die off, in my opinion. There was a lot of update hype. Now things are kind of settling down a bit, and that's making the market a little bit more stable, but profits haven't been as good, I don't think. So we're trying to break the norm on that today. We'll see if we can make a little bit of money outside of all the hype, and we'll see if we can take some of that home. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream today, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. And by the way, join us on Discord. There is a link in the description below. We are almost at 2,000 members. We might be there right now. Honestly, I don't know, but we have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and we would love to have you there. So anyway, up 1 point. Oh wow, those ancestral rope tops came in a little bit quick, man. I don't know about that. We'll go ahead and try to sell them back. Hopefully no issues on that one, but definitely something to keep an eye on here. No, I meant the current buy. Oh, gotcha, man. Forrest Wong says, I'm heading off to bed. Have a good stream. Good to see you, Forrest, and thank you for stopping by, and have a good rest, I guess. Zach says, I'm back in this. Good to see you, Zach. Stanford Mod saying, hi, good night, my dear friend. Stanford Mod, good to see you, and see you later, I guess. Hi, mate. Good luck. DR, thank you, man. Do appreciate it. And sorry, so many comments coming in today, man. It's good to see everybody. Anyway, though, guys, let's make a little bit of profit here. We do have 971 million GPs, so I'm trying to think of a way that I can sell, or not sell it off, but like trying to make a little bit more profit on it. I do want to do another piece of Ancestral, but not until we can confirm that these rope tops sell. So maybe what I'll do is I'll cycle back into the rope tops at a little bit cheaper of a price, just in case they did go down a little bit, and we'll actually buy 2 more of those to see if we can make some money on that. Besides that, I think everything looks fine. Besides these amulets of torture, we're going to knock those down a little bit. Just no price action on them as of late. So we're going to try to knock those down on margin, get them off, and make a little bit of money on it. The life of a flipper, man. Just bank standing all day, dude. Zach says you should totally get a face tattoo. I don't know how I feel about that one, man. What should I get on my face, though? That's the thing. A party hat? A cash stack? Or like an Elysian spirit shield? Now we're talking. And I definitely did not spill any water on my desk. Definitely didn't do that. Max cash stack. Hey, once I get max cash stack, maybe then we can get it. But until that moment, we can't do it. Also, we did get those amulets of torture off, so we're good on those. What I'm thinking is we could try to buy a few more of them. It does look like the margin has shifted on us, probably upwards. So I guess I'll try to get a few more, but the margin on it's not that great at this point. The Sierra symbol, I could do that. I mean, I don't really think I want a face tattoo, so good recommendations, but maybe it's not for me. And we have these amulets of torture buying again. Good amount of profit coming in right now. We're currently averaging about 3.3 mil an hour. We'll see if we end the session with about 3.3 mil then at this point. I would like to cycle into another item. I'm really hoping that we can hit the scythe. If we can't hit the scythe, it's going to be a little bit unfortunate because that's a lot of money to have locked up in a flip that doesn't actually work out for us in the end. That being said, though, I do have a good amount of confidence that we should be able to flip one by the end of the stream as long as we keep hunting the margin for it. And luckily, we got the Dragon Claws off as well, so we can go in and try to flip another item, and that's going to be the Justiciar armor set. That's what we're going to do next. Now, the margins on the armor set have recently been pretty wide, but I do think wow, now it's like tiny. It's literally 1K. Literally a 1K margin. Okay, I guess we're going to avoid that then. And we did sell an Ancestral Rope Top, so that's a great sign for us. Probably means that we can actually raise our other buy offer for the Ancestral Rope Tops up just a little bit, as we're probably around margin for that. Nice. We got both of them off as well, so that's good. And we are at a 2 mil profit. Super, super nice session today, guys. Let me go ahead and try to buy a few more of them, actually. Yeah, we'll just buy them for the same margin as before. And let's go ahead and sell these Amulets of Torture off as well. We didn't really get a good listing on these yet, but that should sell around that price point. Yeah, we're looking good besides that. I'm also going to list the Grimy Renar Weed, and since we couldn't get any good margins on the Justiciar armor set, I'm thinking we try to move into another armor piece, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to do yet. Anyway, let's see. We have, Furno says 1K margin, stonks. Dude, like a 1K margin on a Justiciar armor set? Are you serious? It's like not a very high volume item. Very surprising. Regardless, though, we did get these dragon crossbows off, which was super, super nice. We're definitely going to go back in and try to flip a few more of these. My guess is we probably won't be able to buy them for the same price that we bought them previously, but it's definitely worth a shot to at least wait a couple of minutes on it. And I'm going to do the Ceradoman Godsword in the other slot here. This is, you know, the Ceradoman Godsword, people ask me about this item a lot. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of flipping this during a flipping session. I really think that the Ceradoman Godswords are best to flip overnight. I've had massive margins on these things overnight, and usually when you do them in an active session, they trade like in a very wonky pattern. They're extremely like inconsistent, and they take forever to buy and sell. So if you're not getting a good margin on them, it's probably not worth your time. But I do like flipping them. We're going to try them here today. Maybe our luck is going to change. Let's see. We have Lewintag saying, LOL, they've been wide. Oh, and then it's 1K. Hey, a 1K margin on certain items could be good, but unfortunately not for the Justiciar armor set. You know, you don't want to risk 47 mil to go ahead and get a 1K margin. It's just not really worth your time. We have Clive Don 420 giving us a follow over on Twitch. Thank you, Clive. Do appreciate it, man. And welcome to the flipping team. Hope you are enjoying the live stream as well. Thank you for tuning in today. And let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash tag or anything related to flipping in old school RuneScape. Now we have Some Nerd, and he's saying probably a lot of hype on the Justy sets because they let you cheat the Inferno and the blowpipe nerfs are coming. Yeah, potentially. I mean, you know, there are different armor or like different categories, right? Like a blowpipe is damage and a Justiciar set is armor. But if they're both used at the Inferno, then you could see how maybe one would be more valuable than the other when it gets nerfed. I don't think that the hype was from that. I mean, there was not that much hype. I mean, the armor sets like fluctuated a little bit, but I don't think it's anything significant enough that actually is like having a market reaction. Again, just my opinion though. Shankamuffin says, can fully agree on how Justiciar sets let you cheese the Inferno. He just said Justiciar armor, actually. He didn't say these sets, but good to see you, Shankamuffin, man. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it, and definitely drop a like if you are enjoying it. If you have any questions about what to flip with your cash tag, let me know. I'm here to help you out. Now, yeah, basically we're just going to sit back, kick back, let these flips ride, and the Amulets of Torture are not selling, which is quite funny because literally 10 minutes ago I was like, oh, you should always flip the Amulets of Torture, they're so easy, and here we are about 15 minutes later and we cannot freaking sell them. So anyway, that's just karma if you ask me, but we will go ahead and lower them a bit more. I mean, honestly, I do expect these to sell off for a profit, but it's just not really going to be that significant. Also, I do want to go back in on the Scythe here. We're going to raise that a decent bit. You know, I just sold one of these, and I can't get back in on the margin, which is a little bit crazy in my opinion. Hopefully, I'm not listing this one for too high, and we can still flip a few at this high price point. Stanford Mod says, hi, man. I have 421k cash. What should I flip? Honestly, Stan, my personal recommendation with a 421k stack is to not focus on flipping at all, because flipping with a 421k stack is really not worth your time. You're just not going to be able to make enough money per hour to really justify flipping as a moneymaker. So my recommendation is try to look for another moneymaker in game that's going to make you a bit more GP per hour, at least in the beginning, and then try to take that cash stack and apply it to flipping. You know, you can do it with as little as 5 mil. I personally recommend people start with 10 mil because it's a lot easier to learn and you can try a bunch more items. But Stan, my personal recommendation would be try to find a better moneymaker. You know, like, what are your stats? Maybe you have something in game that can make you a little bit more money. If you don't have high stats, there's always looting that can make you at least a little bit of a base start. And there's a ton of other options to make money in game. And unfortunately, flipping does take a little bit of starting capital. But the beauty of flipping, though, is the more money you have, the more money you can make. So as you flip and as your cash stack grows from flipping, you'll be able to make more per hour every single day because you'll have more GP. Zach says, all right, my lunch is over, man. Keep killing it. Thank you, Zach. Do appreciate it. And have a good rest of your day. Stan says, that's some solid advice. Thank you, man. No problem, Stan. Glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, we're just sitting back, kicking back on the exchange right now. I'm a little bit upset that these dragon darts are not selling for us, but we're just going to let them go for a little bit longer. I'm not too concerned about it. Lewintag says, start a series called Flipping in 07 where you legit don't use the GE and merch your way to 1 billion GP. I like the idea. The problem is, like, nowadays, if you trade people items, they think you're scamming them because everyone uses the Grand Exchange. So, like, you can't get a better deal by, like, trading another player because literally the best deal you're going to get is on the Grand Exchange at any given point in time. So, it's weird. Like, people think you're scamming them. I guess it makes sense, but yeah, it gets way easier the more GP that you get. Yeah, Clive, man, it's crazy how exponential it gets. Like, I mean, you could go back to the early live streams and see how much I was making back then compared to what we have now. And it's definitely a large, significant difference. I mean, you know, we've kind of flatlined profit-wise. Like, we don't make that much more on these streams than we, you know, we haven't really, like, gone exponential. I mean, we have, you know, better days compared to other days, but really we're usually consistently around like a 3 to 5 mil profit range on these streams. And if I used another account, we'd be able to make a lot more. So I really should start doing that. But I keep, like, I don't know. I have this series going on and I don't like flipping on 2 because I'm just really distracted when I do. So Greg Ladd says, should you buy and sell items at the same time or wait on getting a full buy for a full sale? You know, if you have an extra slot open, then go ahead and sell the item. If you don't, then just wait and trade it back later. In my experience, it has never really made a significant difference, but if you can sell the item back as soon as you, like, if you have an open slot, then definitely use it. But if you don't, then I wouldn't worry too much about it. Some nerd says people buy in bulk for increased rates. Yeah, but like bulk is like a whole different category in my opinion. Like bulk is tough because, well, first of all, you would use the exchange for that, right? You could buy it from another player and try to sell it to another player, but look, I don't want to do bulk trading. Like, I find it really boring, and you're just buying one item, like, and that's what you do for the month, and then you sell it, and it's profit. You know, it's just not that exciting, in my opinion. Snack Food OSRS, good to see you, man. He says, hi, Scape, I'm new. I know for a fact that is not the case, so good to see you, Snack. Thank you for tuning in today, and let's make some profit today. I mean, we've been sitting at 2.1 mil for quite some time, so I'd like to actually sell that off here, or not sell that off, get a little bit more money coming in, and just try to move some of these items, because these Dragon Darts are going a little bit stale right now. On top of that as well, let's go ahead and sell the Ancestral Rope Top back for a little bit less. You know, we're still making a very solid profit on this item, but I do want to get out of the item as we've started to kind of slow down as far as selling action goes for that. How many hours do you flip in a day, says DR? DR, I would say normally during the week, the live stream is really the only time that I flip. So I would say probably an average of 2 hours a day, maybe? At max. Like 2 hours a day max I flip, I would say. Probably like more like 1 hour, to be quite honest. Because on off days, maybe it's like 1.5 hours. I don't know. Like something like between 1 and 2 hours. Anyway, I was like sitting on my foot, so I just adjusted my seat to sit like a normal human being. Let's see. Anyway, guys, we're sitting back, kicking back, waiting for some of these flips to come through, man. Shankamuffin says, have you ever flipped the Tebow? I have. We could give the Tebow a run today, actually. As long as, like, we clear up another slot, I'll definitely list a Tebow. Because we have, like, a good amount of cash today to work with. I mean, I think I'm at the most cash I've ever had. We're coming up on that max cash, baby. Like, we're not far away. We could have max cash by the end of this week. My guess is I'm going to need the weekend to make up a little bit more profit. But we're only, like, 30 mil away, I think. And that's really not that far from a max cash, man. Wait, what is max cash? 2146, I think, right? Let me see. I always forget, like, the exact number. 2147, there we go. 2147, yeah, dude, we'll crush that in no time, man. That's like 20 mil from what we have. 21474833647. I love how you got the exact number, Clive, man. That's so funny. As long as we can clear up a little bit of GP right here, I'm 100% down to flip the Tebow. And we are going to move these dragon pickaxes back onto the exchange here. Those are actually going to be a decent bit of profit as long as we can... Oh, yeah, and they're selling off. Very nice. We might want to stretch that margin, actually, a little bit. But I'm not, you know, we could. I'm not, you know, I'm not, like, opposed to stretching it a bit. But we could just leave it here and, you know, probably have it sell without too much difficulty. So maybe that's what I'll do instead and just kind of leave it as more of a passive flip. Now, we need a little bit of more cash on hand, so I'm going to turn around and try to put some sell offers in here, make a little bit of money, and we'll try and get that into the Tebow today. Because, dude, that would be crazy. We could flip a site and a Tebow at the same exact time. I've never had that happen. Chicken Dinner says, PSA, the daily reset is in 20 minutes. Go buy your staves, etc. if you haven't done so already, and do it again in 20 minutes. I could go do that, to be honest, but I'm honestly just too lazy to run over there. But maybe if once we get the Tebow listed, we'll go do it, because it's not a big deal. We'll sit back, kick back, wait for these flips to come through. Guys, if you are enjoying the live stream today, please leave a like. It really does help me out a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content to the channel for you guys to enjoy. So hopefully you do enjoy it. And most importantly today, okay, we have a Discord group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. So if you're not with us on Discord, please join us with the link in the description below. And the only reason I'm pushing it so hard today, guys, is that we are so close to 2,000 members. Literally, we must be like 1 or 2 members away from 2,000 members. So if you're not with us on Discord, I highly recommend it. We have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. And look, we'd love to have you in there. Really, like, regardless of how good you are at flipping, maybe you're a beginner or an experienced flipper, regardless of the skill level, you can definitely benefit from this Discord group. Now, I'm trying to find where the margin is sitting around on this twisted bow here, and we are still a couple mil short, but now we're good. So let's go ahead and try to flip this thing, man. What I usually do for the twisted bow is, let's see. This might be too low. This might be too low, but we're going to try it right now. You never want to try to buy one of these really low volume items for too high of a price. Because if you do that, then basically you have to sell it back at the same price and you break even on it. Yes, that does give you the margin, but you lose one of your flipping quantity, which is obviously not a great, you know, situation. You want to flip as many as possible for a profit. But anyway, we're going to try to get it for this price. We're probably going to let it sit for about, I would say, you know, 8 to 10 minutes. If we don't buy one, we'll cycle back in at a higher price. Clive says, very helpful people in the Discord for sure. Thank you, Clive. I do appreciate that. And yeah, maybe some people in the live chat can vouch for how helpful the Discord has been for them. And if you don't like it, like, in honesty, you can join it, and if you don't like it, you can leave. It's always free to join and check it out. And I just think it would be really helpful for a lot of people. Currently, 1,999 members. Literally, we need 1 member. We literally need 1 member, dude. Anyway, Shankamuffin with another great question, coming in with all these great questions today. He says, have you ever flipped third age pieces? I have flipped Third Age in the past, and it used to be an item that I'd flip pretty frequently with like 500, 600 mil, and I was always doing those Third Age full helmets because they were like right in my risk tolerance, and I liked flipping them. But I don't flip the Third Age anymore, and the reason I don't do it is while it can be very profitable, I don't like to flip items that don't have like some sort of demand to them, right? Like, I don't know how to really explain it because obviously they do have somewhat of a demand, but for example, like the Twisted Bow has a dedicated use in game. When people buy the Twisted Bow, they're going to do some end game content, and people always want it because it's such a good thing. Same with the Scythe, like people always want it. But the thing with the Third Age is there's no true like demand behind it besides its rarity. People like it because it's so rare, and it's not exactly used in any content as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's primarily a cosmetic, so I've stayed away from that cosmetic stuff because when it crashes really, really hard, and there's no telling when it's going to stop, but obviously that's for every item, and I just like items that have a little bit more value in the game as far as a gameplay standpoint goes. It's not a best in slot item, says Lewintag. Yeah, but like Third Age can make you bank. Like there's no doubt in my mind that if you get on the right side of Third Age, you're going to make some huge profits. I do know a lot of the high level merchants who do flip Third Age, but it's not really my speed. I tend to find better luck on the Twisted Bow or the Scythe. They just have a lot more volume. They're a lot more liquid in most cases, and I just prefer them over trying to flip some Third Age. Waiting for those Ceridome and God Swords to come through and finish those up. I remember seeing Third Age graphs and it just keeps going up. Do they? I don't know. I don't even really look at Third Age, man. Like, I've stopped, like, even considering it. Maybe I should consider it again, honestly. Now that I have, like, enough cash to really fill up a lot of Grand Exchange slots, we could flip Third Age. But the stuff I flip on stream is very different than what I flip when I'm not on stream, to be honest. That's why if you ever see me, like, doing a video on something, you'll see that the items I'm flipping are, like, way different. We haven't done the Imbued Hearts yet. We could do those as well. I'm just trying to clear up another one of these slots here. And we still haven't had any luck on the Scythe yet, which is shocking, man. This is probably going to instant buy if I had to guess. It didn't, but it's probably going to buy pretty quick. We have Ock cheering 11 bits. He says, imagine giving money to Strimmer. Okay, thank you for the bits, man. I do appreciate the 11 bits. Thank you, man. Some nerd says, I think it's mergers manipulating the price. It's such a consistent rise. Or it just could be the items getting rarer, and usually as the game goes on, more GP is brought into the game, and just because of inflation, the Third Age does go up. But the thing with Third Age is it goes up, and then it crashes really hard, and then it shoots back up. It like does these really funky things. And yeah, I think it could be like high-level merchers trying to get on the right side of things, but really, I don't investigate it that much. I just avoid it overall. Lewintag says, I know what I was just saying. Back to your point, why it's not the best to flip, because it's not needed. It's literally just for Fashion Escape. Yeah, it's more like a, what is it called? It's more like a cosmetic, right? It's like a cosmetic thing. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. Thank you, Chicken, for the 2 bits, man. Anyway, sitting back, kicking back, waiting for some flips to come through today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream, and it's been a pretty casual flipping session today. It's kind of weird because we were making a ton of profit at the start, and now all of a sudden the market's died down a bit, and that's kind of happened on our past couple of streams, honestly. Just out the gate, we have been ripping margins, and then all of a sudden things just stop working. So unfortunately, we're having that same kind of luck today, and the Sharks just like shot up in price. I have no idea why, but they're at a completely higher margin and they stopped buying. Regardless, though, let's go ahead and do the I'm going to do the Toxic Blowpipe, actually. I do like flipping the Toxic Blowpipe. I find it to be quite a good flip, and they flip really quick, so we're going to do that with the 49 mil that we do have currently in the cash stack. We're keeping an eye on that Twisted Bow and that Scythe. Dude, the Toxic Blowpipes really doesn't have a good margin. We'll do 3 of them, though. just try to put some cash into something here. And the dragon darts, we're going to let those sit for the entire session because I know we're going to be able to sell them for a profit, and I don't want to lose money on them in the short term, so we're just going to wait until they do sell. Now that I spent my bits, I can come back to YouTube. Thank you, Vulcan, man. Yeah, vanity, exactly. It's a vanity item. I really want to get one of these bigger items bought and sold today. It's like, you know, we've avoided it so much recently that I think on these streams from now on, I'm going to have to try to flip a twisted bow or a scythe, at least one of them, right? Because we have so much cash on hand now that we have to put it into something. Otherwise, we're just, you know, we're wasting our basically potential profit. So expect to see a lot of twisted bow and scythe flipping in the upcoming streams. I mean, hopefully you guys like that. I feel like most of you guys like when I flip expensive stuff because you kind of see like, oh, how risky it is, like how I play it, and I don't know. I think it's like more interesting than just flipping high volume stuff all day back and forth. But anyway, guys, if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping in old school RuneScape, be sure to let me know, and I'll definitely get your questions answered. I love flipping in old school RuneScape. It is my favorite thing to do in the game, and I've been doing it since like 2016. So definitely have some decent insight into how flipping works and what you can flip to make some money. So yeah, if you have questions, let me know, and we'll go ahead and do... I do want to do something that is not going to take too long. 49 mil. Let me think about that. Let's try the mana rays, because mana rays, they can have really solid margins on them. I did notice they've been kind of doing a little bit of weird stuff as far as their price goes, so we'll have to see if we can get a good margin on that. Nothing crazy, but definitely good enough. We'll go all in on that, and it's going to run us about 12 mil to flip the limit. Mana rays, great item for people with like a 25 to 50 mil cash stack. It's going to make you a lot of money. Expensive stuff has the opportunity for content. Oh, yeah, 100%. We have RJ popping in. He says, howdy. Good to see you, RJ. Thank you for tuning in. We also got the dragon crossbows off again. Those have been making us a killing tonight. 514k on the dragon crossbows. Also, I didn't even notice that the dragon claws made us 796 mil. Who would have known? Super solid on that. Let's actually knock the twisted bow up a little bit here. I hope this isn't an instant buy, but it could be. Okay, it didn't instant buy, but it might buy soon. We have to keep a close eye on it. Mr. Fox says, hello there. What are your favorite high volume items? All right, I'll give them to you right now, okay? Wow, that bought a little bit too quick, but we're going to try to flip it anyway. Let's see. That's weird because we were sitting on the buy offer, like not that, like we weren't that far away. Anyway, whatever. We're just going to let that do its thing. Like our buy price was pretty close to where we currently just bought it. Like only a couple 100K away. So in Tebow terms, that's actually pretty close. But as far as my favorite high volume items go, we're going to do one right now just to show you guys. These Zulrah scales are probably my #1 favorite high volume item to flip. And the limit, or the reason that is because the limit is 30,000 every 4 hours. And because it's only a 1 GP margin right now, but that means if you get a 2 GP margin on these Zulrah scales, by the way, super easy flip, but if you get a 2 GP margin on it, you're making 60K off the limit, which is crazy, crazy good for profit. But anyway, I love doing the blood runes. So Zulrah scales, blood runes, sharks are probably my top 3 favorite high volume flips. Although I don't really do a ton of high volume these days just because I've kind of passed that point as far as my cash stack goes. If I'm trying to reduce risk, I will use high volume flips, but for the most part, I tend to not do them. Just sold 2 bonds, 5.2 mil each. Oh my goodness. Dude, bonds went crazy in price like over the weekend. Like Friday, they weren't that expensive. And then all of a sudden, like Sunday, I think I paid like 5.1 mil for a bond. So looks like they're going back up in price. And I do think that is because of the membership deal that came out. And I don't know if Shankamuffin's still here, but he just made a video on that actually, which was really good. So I don't know if the event is over, but if you guys didn't know, there is a RuneScape membership deal going on right now. I think it might have ended yesterday. I'm not completely sure, but if Shank is still in here, he can definitely let you know. But regardless, he made a great video on it. I recommend going to his channel and checking it out because it's a super good video. But if he's still here, you can say something, man, and we'll shoot people over to your channel to check that video out. Regardless, though, let's try and just pray, I guess. We'll pray to Saradomin that this Twisted Bow is going to sell for a slight profit, and I'm not confident it will, but I'm not confident it won't. So, kind of in the middle on that one. Let's see, 104 million GP. We'll go ahead and do the... Actually, I do want to do the Brimstone Ring. Now, these things have been doing some crazy movements recently. They were around, like, 2.8 mil, and then they shot up to, like, 3 mil. So, let's go ahead and flip a few of these. Anytime, like, an item shoots up, like, a crazy amount in price, it usually makes it a good flip because it usually means the item is very volatile. And when an item is volatile, it means the price is swinging like crazy. Oh, yeah, Hydro Leather. We should do that one. Shankamuffin says, I think the deal is still going on. It's just a little bit more expensive now. See, there you go, man. Perfect. Just going to cost you a little bit more bank. And that's probably why it went up. Like, people noticed the good deal. They bought bonds, and now it's a higher price. So, early bird gets the worm, as always, guys, even with the streams. Anyway, though, guys, if you haven't dropped a like, please drop a like if you're watching over on YouTube. It really does help me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. Also, if you're not with us on Discord, be sure to join us with the link in the description below. We are almost at 2,000 members in the Discord group, okay? I think we're literally at 1,999, so we're going to hit 2,000 super soon, and the Discord group is dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape, and we would love to have you in there, so definitely go ahead and check that out if you want to improve your flipping skills and just become someone who wants to get better at flipping. I mean, I think, honestly, the Discord group is a great place for that. Now, the scythe is giving us the hardest time in the world right now to actually buy. We cannot get one for the life of us. So we're going to go back in and raise it yet again. I mean, it's crazy we're not able to buy this thing at this point. Yeah, it is the Premier Club. Yeah, it is the Premier Club deal. Some nerd. Couldn't think. My brain like fogged up for a minute. Can you join the Discord via RuneLite? No, you cannot join the Discord on RuneLite. You have to click the YouTube link in the description below. Or if you're over on Twitch, you can click one of the panels down below, and that will bring you to my Discord group. And, you know, just if you don't like it, you can check it out and leave always. But I think most people that check it out like to stay because it's honestly a pretty good Discord group. There's a lot of helpful people in there who are motivated to learn how to flip in old school RuneScape. And just like, you know, people who have like also joined and were noobs at once and now they've learned and they want to help other people out as well. So I'm always in there helping as well if you guys have any questions about what to flip with your cash deck or anything like that. And it's basically the best place to reach me outside of streaming. So I would highly recommend it. Dude, can we please break this 3 mil profit? Like, my goodness, man. Like, we just need one T-bow and one scythe flip. That's literally it, man. Just struggling. Like, we were having a decent session, and all of a sudden, like, it's completely slowed down on us. We'll try to turn it around, get a little bit more profit per hour. You guys know how we do it here. So we'll see if we can get these blood runes going. I mean, they were advertising a 5 GP margin, which is way better than, you know, you usually see. But no, don't get excited about the T-bow. We didn't make a lot of money on that one. That being said, we do know where this thing is trading around. So because we know that, we will be able to cycle back in at more profitable margins, which is a good sign for us. And this one's not going to make us a ton of profit if we buy it here, but it will make a decent bit. It's at least going to help out our profit per hour a little bit if we can trade a couple of them. Clive says those dragon darts, though. These dragon darts are going to take like 2 to 3 hours to sell, but they will sell and they will sell for a profit. Now, the reason I don't want to sell the dragon darts is because this happens a lot with dragon darts, and you might buy them and they'll crash on you. Now, if they crash on you, you could sell them for a loss if you really want to work with that GP again, but I'm pretty stubborn today and I don't want to sell them for a loss. And I know for a fact that dragon darts fluctuate in the weirdest patterns. They're one of the funkiest items that I know, honestly. One of the funkiest high volume items, I'll say. So if you leave them for your original sell price, they probably are going to sell. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Shankamuffin says, yes, the Premier Club went from $75 to $90. Not sure if it's still the 20 bonds. Don't have a bond on me to double check. Well, it's still a great membership deal. I mean, if you guys want to play old school RuneScape for a year straight, then you could definitely go check out the deal. Maybe it's worth it for you. Although it sounds like the deal is maybe not as good as it was a couple of days ago. So also something to consider. Personally, for me, I buy bonds when I need them. I don't like buy a bunch and use a membership or like use them all in conjunction to get a better deal, because I like to have as much cash on hand as possible. That's why I don't like to buy a bunch of bonds at once. But if you're someone who's just like likes to buy them and, you know, wants to pump it in and onto your account, then that's all you, man. And you could get a better deal now. So, I mean, hey, I can't shoot you down for that. Waiting for some of these flips to come through. Just patiently waiting. Sometimes, like the Grand Exchange, it just doesn't go your way, does it? Tokul pops in. He says, hey, hey, hey. Good to see you, Tokul. Thank you for tuning in, man. Discovered the Addy Ore flip, says Mr. Fox. It's kind of a low amount, only 4,500 pieces, but around 40 GP margins. Quite a fast flip usually, and it is a free-to-play flip as well, so free-to-play players can take advantage of the adamant ore. So personally, I haven't flipped in free-to-play for a while, but we could do another free-to-play guide if you guys are interested in free-to-play flipping and free-to-play profits, because I know we get a lot of questions about that, and kind of like questions like, why don't you do free-to-play flipping, or why don't you cover it as much? Honestly, because the members flipping is like so much more profitable. There's way more items you can do, and I love showcasing like the highest tiers of flipping, and that's why I honestly don't do free-to-play flipping that much. Personally, I just pay real-world GP for Premier Club, then I know it's fixed for the year. Chicken dinner, you could do that as well. I mean, honestly, I always recommend that if you're just getting into RuneScape, then if you can afford it, to buy the membership with real money, because it's going to, like, you're going to stop stressing about making money in game, and the game's going to be enjoyable to play. You're not going to have to think about, ooh, how am I going to sustain a bond or make a bond, because, you know, in the early stages, that could ruin the gameplay for you, and you want to enjoy the game at its core before, you know, venturing out and doing what you like most. For me, it's money making, but I do enjoy RuneScape overall. I feel like to be profitable in free-to-play, you need 20 plus accounts. Well, at least very profitable. You definitely need more than one to make anywhere close to a good enough GP per hour to make a bond. Like, there's no way you're going to do it in free-to-play on one account, because you only have 3 Grand Exchange slots. It's just not enough to make a significant profit at all. You really need, I mean, honestly, I would have 4 accounts on free-to-play if I was like a strict free-to-play flipper, just because you need all those Grand Exchange slots, and you need a lot of limits, because there's not that many items in free-to-play that are going to make you a decent profit or flip pretty quickly. I mean, one great item in free-to-play, though, is the death runes and law runes, nature runes. Like, those are, the runes in free-to-play are really good flips. They're quick flips. They're not going to make you that much money, but for free-to-play, they are very good, and they will make you a decent profit per hour because, again, they're very quick flips, very safe flips. You're not going to lose money on them most of the time. 3 slots really hurts. Yeah, Clive, it's tough, man. Sitting back, kicking back, waiting for some of these items to sell here on the Grand Exchange today. Just trying to keep it chill today on our lovely Monday evening stream. And we're hoping to get another Twisted Bow in here. I mean, I've been sitting on... We can't even get a Scythe, man. This dude, like, literally, I sold the Scythe for, like, 659 mil, and I'm trading way above that right now, and I cannot get one. So, like, I sold the Scythe, like, before the stream for that much. And it's crazy that, like, already, if I just held it for, like, an hour more, we could have sold it for and potentially an additional 5 mil profit. I mean, it's crazy what we're trying to buy this thing for right now. Guess we'll go back in at a higher price point, getting a little bit risky here towards the end, but I do want to try and flip one of these. I'm hoping we can get another Twisted Bow as well. I think if we wait on the Twisted Bow, we will be able to get it. We do have another slot open, though, so let's do the Imbued Heart in that slot. We haven't done that quite yet. We're going to cut back on the Grimy Ranarr soon as well. And we have the Imbued Hearts listed and ready to rip on the Grand Exchange. We cannot do all 7 of them. Unfortunately, we can do 6, though. And we'll go ahead and sell these Grimy Ranarrs back. yeah, everything looks decent right now. We have Derp popping in with the, I don't know what emote that is, but it's like a guy smiling. Good to see you, Derp. Thank you for tuning in, man. Do appreciate it. And STW Benny says, I'm listening to your stream while looting and already got 200K. STW, man, I'm telling you, man, it's working out for you then. Just get that nice starter cash stack. Trust me, don't start flipping without enough money, because if you start to flip with, you know, less than 5 mil, I mean 5 mil absolute minimum. Like 5 mil, you're probably not even going to see great profits with that. But that being said, 5 mil is enough to learn the basics of flipping and kind of get the hang of it. I highly recommend flipping with 10 mil though, because that's when you're going to see like, yeah, flipping is actually profitable enough as a main source of money. Like, flipping is by far my favorite moneymaker, my primary moneymaker. I would not do anything else in game to make money besides flip, because flipping can just, you know, you can make literal endless amounts of GP depending on how much money you have yourself, and it just keeps scaling up. So, and I also just love flipping, so I mean, there's that as well. So maybe I'm a little bit biased. All for the Max with the follow over on Twitch, man. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Welcome to the live stream today. Let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping. We'll be sure to get that answered for you, man. It's an emote from another streamer's channel. Oh, I see, man. Shankamuffin says, what do you think is the most liquid item? I can tell you right now, actually. Let me see. I think it's the fire runes. I'm just going to double check on that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, fire runes is the most traded item in the game, so it's the most liquid. And there's... Wow. The past 7 days in Old School RuneScape, there has been 1.3 billion fire runes traded. Billion! Oh my god, man, that's crazy. And the pure essence is right behind that at 1.1 billion, with the feathers coming in a close third at 980 million. So those would be the most liquid item. But look at this, one of my favorite items right here, okay? Zulrah Scales is the 4th most liquid item in the game. 855 million have been traded in the past 7 days here. So that just goes to show you how good these items really are, man. Like, I mean, they're not, it doesn't make them good or bad, but they're just really liquid. And Zulrah Scales, like, they're super liquid, super high traded, super easy to flip. They flip extremely fast. And at the same time, sometimes you can get like 3 to 4 GP margins on them. And when that's the case, you're going to make bank flipping Zulrah Scales. 3 GP margin on a Zulrah Scale limit, that's 90k. 4 GP, which is somewhat rare, I'd say, but 3 GP is pretty common. 4 GP margin, you're going to make 120k. Super nice. All for the Max says, I'm up 5 mil today by flipping, man. Dude, that's crazy. Good. Congrats to you, bro. How much cash are you working with? I'm actually curious to hear, like, what your starting cash stack is and how much you're making with that stack. Maybe what you're focusing on as far as flipping goes. And, I guess what you've been flipping. I think we missed a follow here. Guan came in with a follow. Thank you, Guan, for the follow, man. I did miss that. I do apologize, but welcome to the flipping team, man. Glad to have you, and thank you for tuning in today. All for the Max says 200 mil. Dude, that's awesome profit, man. Congrats. What are you going to do with the profit? Are you going to buy some gear, or are you going to reinvest it? Let me know. I really want to get this twisted bow in, man. Like, you can't flip anything today, dude. It's odd the twisted bow's not flipping. It must have a really bad margin. Because, again, I'm like not far away from where we previously bought the other one. Just give me one of them. You know, the scythe's not going to happen. It's a pipe dream at this point. We tried it. It's not coming in. We'll let it go for now. I'm going to try the Armadillo crossbow, actually. Wonder if there's still a lot of hype for this thing, if we can maybe get some trades going on it. Ooh, it definitely seems to have died down a little bit. You can tell the markets are a little bit slow today compared to where they were over the weekend. And yes, of course, there's a lot more trades happening on the weekends, more people playing. But at the same time, the market has definitely settled down from all of the update hype that we had last week. Tokol says, I'm super broke right now. Dude, you got to get that base cash stack going. What I do is if I spend money, I always keep a certain amount of cash on hand. That way, if at any point I need to flip it back up, I have the option to do so. All for the Max says, invest more and more. Hey, that's the way to do it, bro. That's what I did. I mean, just keep investing back in your own cash stack, keep flipping it up, and seeing how far that profit's going to take you. let's go ahead and sell these imbued hearts back. I forget where these were actually selling around. Okay. We'll sell them back. We'll see if those actually go off. Shankamuffin says, do you do any investing? Hold on to some items for a month while thinking they'll go up, like in the summer. Yes, I do some very limited investing. Now, the thing with me is, I try to teach this a good amount, that if you're someone who likes to active flip a fair amount, you should be careful with how you invest your money, because there's kind of two bad situations that can happen if you invest your money and you're new to investing. One, you invest into something that looks really good and you have to hold on to the item for a very, very long time. Now, there's two downsides to this, right? One, the item's not going anywhere. Let's say you're not making money, you're not losing money. It's still a losing situation because you have that money locked up in an item and you can't use it to flip on the Grand Exchange. So that's one thing. And two, you can't use it to flip on the Grand Exchange. That's really it. I mean, I do like doing investing, but I don't do it that much, and I don't put large stakes into items because I want to keep most of my cash on hand to actively flip with. That being said, once I get to like a 3-bill cash stack, I will start looking at investing because at this point, I'm already feeling pretty capped out on one account just by flipping with the amount of cash that I have. That's why sometimes we do the 2-account flipping streams where we have 2 accounts going and flipping back and forth because, I mean, with one account, it's pretty hard to leverage all of your cash if you want to make a decent profit per hour. I mean, I could list all of these like really expensive items and just wait the whole time, but I like to, first of all, show you guys a bunch of items that you can flip and try out as well. And second, you know, it gets kind of boring when you sit here and you just have like a Twisted Bone, a Scythe listed, and you're just waiting like 20 minutes for them to buy, and then they finally buy and you go back and sell them. That takes another 10 minutes. It's just not as exciting of content in my opinion. Derp says grapes. Oh my god, dude. How do you even know about that? There's some more comments about the grapes. Ice-T popping in, he says, hey, good to see you, Ice-T, man. Thank you for tuning in today, and welcome to the stream, man. A little bit late, though, to Ice-T, man. Hey, you got a late pass for that? Come on. Anyway, let's go back and sell these manta rays here. We will be wrapping up the stream in a couple of minutes here. I do want to see if we can get one Twisted Bow before the end of this, because we only flipped one and for basically no profit, and waiting all that time just to flip one for no profit kind of feels bad, man. We do have the Grimy Ranar coming in as well, though, so we're going to leave those there. That's actually going to make us a decent bit of money, if I had to guess. Past 1 a.m. I couldn't sleep. That makes sense, Ice-T. Well, welcome, dude. Glad to see you, man. Hopefully you can try to get some rest here. And I haven't seen you online that much, Ice-T. So where you been, man? Chicken Dinner says, a wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he needs to. Well, why couldn't he arrive at the beginning of the stream, then? That's when I needed him. Come on, man. Clive says, what kind of margins are there usually on the Brimstone Ring? In my experience, anywhere from like 10k to 30k is usually where it sits around. Anything 50k plus is looking good for you. Yeah, dude, Shankamuffin makes some great content, guys. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel, go check out his content. Like, literally, his editing skills are cream of the crop, dude. His newest video has a super cool, like, CSGO sequence in it. I highly recommend checking it out. And it's about him, like, farming Zulrah for the membership deal that we were just talking about a couple of minutes ago. So, definitely recommend checking out Shankamuffin's content 100%. All for the Max says, I don't know what item... I don't know what item to go to. I have 200 mil. I'm out of ideas, says All for the Max. Let me think of some for you. 200 mil, you could try some barrel slips, so Carol's leather top, Carol's leather skirt, Justiciar armor, so the face guard, maybe the plate legs. I think they're called leggards, I think. Leggards. But regardless. Hopefully they're two good enough ideas for you, man. Halloween says, what is going on with the darts? Basically, with the dragon darts that we have here right now, we bought them at the beginning, and we kind of like bought into like a pretty high price, I guess. And I've just been camping them because I don't want to sell them for a loss. They're trading like 20 GP lower than where I have them listed, but I'm too stubborn to take the loss. I'm just going to camp it out. We're in the mid price right now. Dragon darts take crazy price swings, and honestly, if we hold through it, we're going to be able to sell them for a profit. I'm like 95% confident in that. And yes, I could take the loss right now and just free up the slot, but I'm too freaking stubborn, okay? Usually I would, but today I'm not doing it. Because we're having so much difficulty with some of this crap today, and we cannot get it moving. So I don't know if it's low volume or what the deal is, but there's small margins, low volume. Don't really know what's going on today. Watched that video yesterday. Actually amazing content. See, R3, man, his content is so freaking good, dude. Completely underrated YouTuber. Dude, like, I'm so frustrated, man. Like, all this stuff has looked so good margin-wise today. Not so good, but, like, good enough. And then we buy into it, and we try to sell it, and just no action, dude. Zero flipping action, man. But, hey, you can't complain on the Grand Exchange. Every day is different when it comes to trading on the Grand Exchange. I mean, some days are really good. Some days are not as good. That's why I always look at profit on a weekly to monthly time frame, because in a day, like, one day you might crush a 10 mil day, and the other day you're going to make like 3 mil. So it's just so inconsistent. But anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please leave a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping live streams and flipping content to the channel for you guys to enjoy. But on top of it all, guys, we have a Discord group dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. So if you are interested in learning how to flip, please join us in there. We are so close to 2,000 members. It is insane. I think we're literally 1 member away in that Discord group. So if you haven't checked it out, I really highly recommend it. I'm sure a lot of people in the live chat can vouch for how helpful it's been for them. And we would just really appreciate having you there, man. We're trying to grow it as big as we can. I was chilling last week. Tomorrow we're back to raids. Good Ice Team, man. I'm glad to see you're on the raids grind. It's Monday. All the PVMers sold their tabs on Sunday. Yeah, feels bad, man. It's so slow today. Like, usually we have a little bit more price action than this, but today it's just been dead content at the exchange. 130 potions till 90 Herbalore. Can we get a PogChamp in the chat for chicken dinner, man? Congrats on that 90 Herbalore coming up real soon. I want to get this Twisted Bow. What the I can't get one, man. I'm getting robbed today as far as the Twisted Bow goes, dude. We did make a little bit of profit on it, but like, come on, son. Just give me one more. All right, we'll let this sit for like 5 minutes. If it doesn't buy, we're ending the stream. R3 says, ever managed to catch a bot dump items and pick them up way under the price? I'm not sure if it's a bot dump, but one time, this is crazy, and I wonder if anyone in the live chat is here from this experience, let me know. But during our 24-hour live stream, we were flipping dragon arrows, and they literally crashed to like sub 300 GP. It was insane, and like everyone on the stream saw it happen, and I don't know, we had like at least like 30 people in the stream at that point. It was at like 2 in the morning. It was the weirdest thing. And I was like, guys, like dragon arrows literally are like trading under 300 GP right now. I'm like, I'm buying as many as I can. And literally like everyone in the chat also bought dragon arrows, and it wasn't orchestrated, okay? I promise. It just kind of happened, and because everyone saw it, and then like everyone made like 2 mil flipping these dragon arrows. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. Like, it's like someone must have dumped like 10 million dragon arrows, literally crashed them to like 300 GP, and it was just such a funny time, man. Clutch says B-ring investment still good. I would say, yeah. I mean, they probably have gone up in price a little bit if I had to guess, just because of the Steam announcement, but I think they're probably still looking pretty good if I had to guess, because a lot of the upside that is on the ring is just hype right now. After the Steam actually does come to old school RuneScape, or old school RuneScape goes on Steam, I think that's a better way to say it, then once that happens, then that's where the actual demand will drive the item. So I would still see a good amount of upside on it. David Wolf with the 3 rockets in the chat. Good to see you, David Wolf. Thank you for tuning in today. Drop a like if you are enjoying, and thank you guys for watching today, man. Do appreciate it. This is just our Monday casual flipping stream. No drinking beer today, okay? That's for the Friday stream. We love to get a little bit rowdy on Fridays, but unfortunately, we have a couple more days to go until we get there. But for now, we're just chilling on this Monday. Up about 3.7 mil right now. We're going to wait about 3 more minutes to see if this Twisted Bow buys, and if it does, amazing, we'll be able to flip it, and if it doesn't, I'm ending the stream, because literally this thing is robbing us blind today, and I really wanted to flip one, to be honest. We did flip one, but it was for like 100k, so it doesn't even count. Literally 100k. Wait, literally 100k. Oh my goodness, man. God, so awful, dude. And now we can't even buy another one, so whatever. Getting the best of me today. R3 says, that could be the result of some high roller collecting stacks of items. Either way, that's some bank made, but rip because, but rip if it was because of a hack. Yeah, I don't know what happened to it, but like, literally everyone watching made money. It was the weirdest thing. Chicken dinner with the 8 bits, 90 herb. Congrats to you, chicken man. Can we get some pog champs in the chat for chicken dinner for the 90 herb lord? Congrats, man. I feel bad, LOL. I feel like I baited you into getting that T-bow. Oh, not at all, man. Not at all. Like, I'm glad you actually suggested it, because I needed to flip something that was a little bit more low volume that was kind of expensive, because we kind of had a lot of cash sitting on hand, and I was just waiting to get rid of it. So I'm glad we actually tried doing it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get another one. I mean, literally, like, I'm like 400k underneath where we previously bought it. And I mean, I cannot imagine that the Twisted Bow has less than a 400k margin. Like, come on. What is going on with this thing, dude? Anyway, it is, that's, you know, when a Grand Exchange gets a little bit stagnant, that's usually what happens. Profits or margins get really, really tight, and you just cannot make a lot of money on stuff. It could just be a bad timing, like bad timing thing. It might just be getting unlucky. You don't really know. As soon as I saw the 99 herb lore, I'm just like looking at my stats and like, I'm so disappointed in myself. Anyway, we did get the mana raise off, so that's good to see. Literally 30 more seconds on this Twisted Bow, so if it doesn't buy, unfortunately, that's going to feel pretty bad, but it is what it is. I just hit 78 herb lore for raids. Hey, everyone's getting herb lore levels today. I'm going to let the Grimy Ranar sit and the Dragon Darts. I will keep you updated in the Discord if these Dragon Darts do sell. I'm confident that they will, but I'm not sure at this point, because I thought they'd sell by now. But regardless, you know, max loss maybe 300k, I think. Maybe 300, 500k, which would not be great, but I'm going to leave it literally overnight if I have to, so. All right, this Twisted Bow, he's out of here, man. We're not flipping it. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up the stream here today. I'm going to go eat some dinner. We have a 3.7 mil profit, averaging about 2.7 mil an hour, which is on our lower end. Unfortunately, we didn't have an amazing session today. It was pretty bad. Now, that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. If you did enjoy the stream, please drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Follow if you're over on Twitch. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. But most importantly, guys, please, please, please join us on Discord. We have a Discord that is super, super close to 2,000 members. Literally, like, last time I checked, 1,999. So if you're not with us on Discord and you want to learn more about flipping and money making, be sure to check it out with the link in the description below or the panels in the description below. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!